Hey y'all, it's me Alex. Today I'm going to do another video in my It's Complicated series. This is my second time filming this video because I filmed it and I was feeling good, but then I went home for the weekend and I had driven 8 hours, and when you have an 8-hour drive, you begin to overthink everything, and so I decided that I hated that footage. So here we are. So the subject for today is, can problematic brands be redeemed? And this has been an issue that has been on my mind recently, as like literally everybody has been exposed, it seems, as to be garbage in one way or the other. And I'm going to say that hyperbolically because I struggle with the idea of referring to people as garbage, as things to be thrown away because people are people. But I got some feelings about this because this is apparently what has been going on a lot lately, like with the whole Kat Von D thing. That was a huge blow to me, and like we all know Jeffree Star and things of that nature, but one of the major things that kind of got me into this issue was whole Lime crime thing. Now, for those of you who don't know, Lime crime has been super controversial, scandals, blah, 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 all of the things. I will leave a good article, I think from Refinery 29, I think it is, that kind of like outline the timeline of everything that happened with Lime crime. But recently they have been sold to another company, and Doe Deer, their owner, who has done all of the kind of awful things that have happened with them, has really taken a step back, and it just seems as though the brand has distanced themselves further and further from her. So that is kind of what's gotten me thinking about, like, okay, well, this brand seems as though that they are changing and taking the necessary steps to distance themselves from the bad things and the bad press that they have previously had and the bad things that they've done. Is this potentially a sign for me or for the beauty community to view them as like a brand that has been redeemed? So this is something that I have even more like mixed feelings about than I did the cruelty-free issue. I've tried making notes, but I also know that there's no way in hell that any of this is going to sound cohesive. So grab some popcorn, we're going in for a ramble here, y'all. So my big issue with the way I think that we view brands and people, because it's largely the brands that have one person as the face of their brand, or like has someone that is the name of the brand, like Kat Von D or Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Both of those are named after their founders and their main marketing people. So that is exactly who, when these people are out living their personal lives and doing their own things, they're still representing themselves and their company even when they are just going about their own personal lives. I personally really prefer that in a lot of ways, just because there are a lot of companies out there that we don't know that much about, like who runs it. Like, I don't know anything about like the people behind NYX or anything. I just know they have good products. While I like being able to kind of turn a blind eye and be like, oh, okay, nobody from NYX is out there doing shady anything, but I also do wonder if they are being run by people like Kat Von D and Jeffree Star, who say and do bad things. Granted, we are all human. We all do bad things, but you know, people who have unethical business practices, for example, I don't know what goes on behind the scenes at brands like that. So I guess that's kind of one thing. The other thing that I kind of take issue with is that it seems as though for a lot of people there's a point of no return in terms of redemption of themselves and of their brands, and I don't exactly know how I feel about that. Now, I'm gonna get a little Jesus-y with y'all in this video because that's actually one of the things that I've kind of been thinking about in terms of this subject, because I am a person in seminary, I am United Methodist, I am a Christian, and for me, forgiveness and redemption is a huge part of my theology because we are all humans and we all mess up, and I think that we should all be given the opportunity to apologize and make things better. So why shouldn't it be the same for people in the public eye? Granted, most of the people that we like see in the beauty community don't do that very often. Either people will double down on their mistakes or will make a faux apology and not really mean it and not really put, you know, their money where their mouth is or anything like that. So like that is definitely a thing. I also don't like the idea that like Kat Von D couldn't change and become a better person. And while I would be hella skeptical if, you know, she were suddenly to do a 180, it would take a lot of time for me to really see that from her. You know, I would love for her to realize that she should vaccinate her kids and maybe be with someone who doesn't like glorify Nazi imagery. That would be something really great in my opinion. And I would love for Jeffree Star to kind of like, I think in some ways he might have even seen the light a little bit. I think there's a lot more work there needs to be done and a lot less drama surrounding him. But, you know, I would like to see people do better. So I feel uncomfortable with the idea that there is a point of no return for people because I don't ever want to think that about somebody. I don't like to think that there is any sin that can be done in this world that somebody can't be, I hate the word saved, but I'm gonna use the word saved from, that somebody can't come back from, that somebody can't improve themselves on. However, there are certain things that like it's not my job to forgive. So when Jeffree Star makes racist comments, it is not my job as a white person to forgive him because I am white and I experience white privilege. You know, it's things like that. So it is not my job to forgive people for things that do not affect me. I'm also kind of thinking about like, okay, why do I even want these brands to be redeemed? I know half the time when like Lime Crime or Jeffree Star, Kat Von D, all of those brands like really have kind of an aesthetic that I really like. So I do like a lot of like the looks of the products that, you know, you see on Trend Mood and like I don't want to buy them, but like, hey, it looks really pretty. I would love to have cute makeup. I also feel as though in terms of like how I feel about brand redemption, I don't want it to just be about me wanting to buy cute makeup. I want it to be about me genuinely believing in other people and in their ability to change and become better people and allowing people to grow and make mistakes. I know when I was in like high school, when I was 16, I was kind of awful, as I think we all were when we were younger. I think that's the other thing too, is that I believe in growth as a human being, and if you don't like look back at least one version of your past self and like totally and completely cringe about who you were, then you are not growing as a person. I want us to be able to legitimately put things in the past, but I also don't want to ignore things either. Like, clearly if things were said, if racist things were said, if sexist things were said, if anything bad or bigoted was said, clearly there was some sort of at least internalized bigotry that had led up to that, and that is going to take a lot more unlearning than just like one apology video and claiming that you have changed. And I think that perhaps is one of my biggest hangups on the idea of redemption and brand redemption in the eyes of social media. It's because, especially when you don't personally know a person, it is so hard to tell if like somebody has genuinely changed, if they have made things better, if they are a completely different person than they were when they said the bad things or when they did the bad things. While I know that that might be a reason for some people to think, well, like, okay, we'll go ahead and just forgive them. And I'm like, okay, I completely respect that disposition. But for me personally, I feel as though that isn't quite enough for me to trust that a person has made genuine change, because I don't know, I'm the kind of person who would rather be safe than sorry in terms of giving money to people. Like, I don't get PR, I don't get anything for free, obviously, and so everything that I buy is like spent with my own money that I'm making a conscious choice to do, and I want to be wary of giving that money to people who espouse beliefs that are completely antithetical to what is in my own heart and my own mind. I guess that those are some of my hang-ups on it. Like I said, I don't want this to just be about consumerism and me wanting to buy the pretty makeup or the fun skincare or whatever. I want it to actually have like a moral purpose to it, because we all mess up. I also just want us to be able to give people an opportunity to change. Perhaps in the canceling week, in the cancel culture that we have, we can also use that as an opportunity for people to change, if that makes any sense. I also kind of wonder, I'm trying to think of a good way to say this because this is not part of my script, I literally just like thought of it. And maybe sometimes I guess it's more that the brand itself isn't necessarily going to be redeemed, but you know, even if the brand can't be redeemed, I feel as though the person behind it still can, because even taking away all of the makeup and all of the glitter and all of the fun stuff, what I think that we should be caring most is like about people and changing people's hearts and minds, just simply for the purpose of we want less hate and awful things in the world, instead of wanting to change people's minds for the sake of me wanting to buy cute makeup again. Yeah, I hope that this was semi-coherent. Let me know how you feel about this in the comments below. Like, what are some brands that you feel might be at the point of no return, or do you think that anyone is at the point of no return? What do you think could still redeem some brands and some people in the eye of the makeup community? Or do you just really not care and just want to buy makeup? I respect that too. Sometimes, you know, we use makeup as an escape and don't want it to be caught up in all of the things that we see on social media in the real world every day. I completely understand that and respect that too. So let me know. But thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to give this video thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe down below if you want to see more videos from me, and I'll see y'all in my next one. Hope you'll have a wonderful day. Bye.